American one. We have Angela Hadley and Collin Martin. Good
Hi
morning.
guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming.
Last time
Thank
I saw
you.
you
Love
both, you were dressed up in Christmas sweaters.
No,
Yeah.
no cool sweaters today. No.
You don't look
I
very
expected
professional.
like a
Thank
Valentine's
you.
heart or something.
We'll work on
Yeah.
that. We'll
Okay.
try to coordinate.
So talk to us about, I mean, I feel like we are all walking around on eggshells every time we get an email or text message or phone call. Like,
Yes.
is this legitimate? Tell us some things that our viewers can keep top of mind to stay safe and protected
Yeah.
from fraud.
Yeah, you really do have to have that sort of healthy dose of skepticism, right? It
Okay.
makes sense that you do want to just kind of be cautious. It doesn't mean that we can't move forward with good opportunities, right? And you don't necessarily want to lose those opportunities, but you do have to do your research first, right?
How
So
about-
it's always just about being careful.
How about student loans? People who have student loan debt.
Yeah.
Scammers are attracting those individuals.
Unfortunately, so in 2023,
You, right?
Yeah, me. They're attracted to me.
What do we need to watch out
coming
for
for you.
here?
yeah. So, last year the repayments started. And
Right.
I think that was really overwhelming for a lot of people. And it created sort of this perfect storm where you had to start repaying your loans, but no one really knew who is my servicer even, right? It's been so long. There was this very
Yeah.
long deferment. And then it gets very overwhelming. Can you even afford it? And people, when things get overwhelming, you tend to just kind of take your foot off the brake
Yep.
and I don't know how to deal with this. Well, it created this perfect opportunity for the scammers to come in and say, oh, we'll help you. We'll refinance your student loans, but you just pay us a fee, things like that. So they really have, again, found just another new opportunity to kind of weasel their way in and try to steal personal information, banking account information, things like that.
So other than being skeptical, cautiously optimistic,
Sure.
I'll say, with those types of
Good.
opportunities, what are some things that those students that know now their loans are coming up, what recommendations do you have for them?
Yeah, I think that really is it. Do your research on the company before, if somebody reaches out to you. Generally, they're, those unprompted phone calls are things that you kind of want to raise that meter. We talk a lot about that with a risk. I always tell my team, it's a risk barometer, right? It starts out low, maybe, unless you get this unprompted phone call. Maybe it starts a little bit higher, and then you kind of got to gauge, how is this conversation going?
Okay.
What are these text messages looking like? What kind of personal information are they asking from me? Because that right there can kind of put you, I don't think you need this really to try to truly refinance my loan or things like that.
And they should already know your personal information too. Like
Sure.
they'll have your
Okay.
social security number on file. They'll have all the documentations already that
Oh,
you
good
can
to know.
ask them to confirm.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the one confirming all the information. They can also do the confirming as well.
Yep.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
Didn't have to pay student loans for a while, right? So I went out and bought this big old new Lincoln. Now my student loans are due and I can't afford them. What should I do?
Well, you could sell your shoes.
Andy gets off his shoe collection.
He went for the shoes.
No,
No,
You can take my house before you
you
take
can
my
take my
Right.
arm, but you're not taking those.
no, but there's options. There's a lot of different places that will do income-based student loan repayment
Okay.
options where, instead of paying the $600 a month payment, you may be looking at a $180 payment that's
Okay.
more affordable within your budget. They want to get their money back from you, but ultimately, it's also have to be affordable for you. And as a consumer taking out a loan, you definitely have to be able to be aware that you can negotiate those terms.
Okay.
Those are not set in stone. If you're having a hardship, especially with other types of loans as well, you can contact that financial institution directly and start talking to them about how I can make it more affordable for me, make it so
Okay.
I can actually make my payments and stay ahead on them
Okay.
within my budget. Because ultimately, anyone that loans you money is going to want that money back.
Right.
And they'll be more willing to work with you if you're ahead of the game,
That's good to know.
proactive
Yeah.
instead of reactive. And you're like, hey, I'm already 6 months behind on my payment because I can't make them.
Yeah.
What can you do for me now? It's too
Might be
late.
too late.
It's too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, communication's really key with stuff like that, right? With those legitimate servicers, they've
Absolutely.
got to understand where you're at. And like to Colin's point, they'd rather get something than
Yeah.
nothing. And again, when you just get overwhelmed, you just completely, start ignoring those notices and things like that. They'd rather work with you. So.
Yeah.
What kind of loans are you guys seeing a lot of right now?
You know, I think our auto loans, American One is really competitive in that space. We're the auto loan experts. We have been for a really long time. So rates are higher than, you know, I come from this environment. I've been with American One for 13 years now, seems like forever. And I'm so used to those very low rates, but it's just a different environment, right? You know, it's that way across the board. So we are still very competitive. So I would say that's really our niche. And then credit cards, right? There's always the need for having that ability to make those payments. You're not having to pull from your checking account, right? You can kind of keep those things separated. You go on vacation, you can use that credit card instead. So those are really our big players.
If I have a car loan from you guys and rates eventually drop, I can refinance.
Right, refinancing is always a good option to help keep, you know, I know in the mortgage space, they always talk about that date your rate, right? And that's always a possibility to help make things more affordable down the line.
Okay, wait a minute. I did not know you could refinance your car.
You didn't?
You can refinance any loan.
Oh yeah.
So what if I have my car financed through someone else and I want to switch it to American One? Can I do that?
Yep,
Yeah,
you
it's
absolutely
really
can.
easy.
Yeah.
It's actually easier to refinance a loan than it is to originate a loan because you've already
Really?
qualified for it. You already have the asset in your name.
Okay.
So then to refinance it, it's a liability that we're just adjusting over. We're not creating a new liability that you're
got it.
taking out more debt.
Oh, that is really interesting. Because we kind of saw a skyrocket in car rates, and I have noticed just like mortgage rates are coming down a little bit. So that might be something good for people to look at.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Same with prices are stabilizing too with vehicles, right? Where again,
Yes.
they were really high during the
Yeah.
pandemic and now that's kind of stabilized.
Yeah.
And same with student loans. Like your student loan may be broken down by semester.
Sure.
What semester you went.
Oh.
This is the rate you're at right now.
Okay.
So realistically, when you're looking at refinancing, you really want to look at the details of the loan because there could be part of the loan that you want to refinance, but part of the loan has a better interest rate because of how you took it out or the time period of when you took it out.
That sounds really complicated, and I can see why people would just say, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, and I think one thing too where you guys can help, you know, people are buying a car at a dealer, you know, just, I wanted to get the loan from so-and-so, whoever, just so I could get it so quick.
Yeah.
That's fine, go ahead. Then take it over to American One and get it fixed up.
We see that quite a bit actually, you know, that like you said, the point of maybe it's a weekend, right? They're shopping on the weekend, they get it done, and then they immediately want to be with their financial institution where they know they can set up those auto transfers, they have somebody that they can speak with, they've got that local branch that they interact with, they know the people, it makes it easy, it makes it, the comfort level is there.
Yeah.
This is brand new information.
I think you're going to refinance some vehicles
Yeah,
here.
well, I've got a car
Can you-
here, we'll
Can
get
you,
you.
can you
Yeah,
put
but
all the
rates going down,
vehicles?
you can make it more affordable.
Can you put all the
Absolutely.
vehicles in the family together and then just?
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes you
yeah.
can consolidate debt by combining two vehicle loans. It's tricky, but
Yeah.
sometimes you
the
can do
equity's
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could somebody use a car as collateral
Yep.
for
Yeah.
like a signature loan or something
We
like
see
that?
people do that, home improvements, things
Yeah?
like that. They'll use a free and clear vehicle that they have. Again, the rate's going to be a lot better than just on a personal loan because it's
Okay.
not secured.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do see quite a bit
Absolutely.
of that.
We're
Lots of
happy to have the
flexibility.
experts here with us from American One, not just fraud fighters, but financial experts. Thank you guys for everything that you do for Jackson.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. Collin Martin and Angela Hadley from American One Credit Union. More of the show right after this break.